Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Still a little bit, a few minutes here before the opening bell, so figured we would take a look at the charts and see where we're at and get our journaling ready so we can make sure that we follow the steps. My model is very mechanical and I've designed it that way. Well, I've designed the steps to make it mechanical. I can go over the model. Some of you guys may be familiar with it, and I've talked about it in a couple of videos on my channel already. So firstly, I'm hanging out on a 15-minute chart at the moment. It looks like just before the end of Friday, we barely missed tapping into the daily fair value gap. However, this is on the micro. On the regular E-mini S&P, we did trade into it by a tick. I'm not a fan of how they don't match data. I don't understand why they don't match. Just make it the same. Only the tick value is lower. I mean, I never have understood that. But nonetheless, London opened up. Well, it opened up at 2, but at 3, we traded straight down into it. And wouldn't you believe it, the 50% mean threshold of that daily fair value gap or consequent encroachment, I never know which one to use. 43.7550, the low of this lowest candle happens to be 43.7550, literally exactly 50%. I'm not really surprised, but it's always cool to see those things happen to the tick. So traded down into that. We may come back for a Judas swing when the market opens. But my expectation here, since we traded down in London, we took out all the remaining sell side liquidity for the week, except Monday, because Monday was a gargantuan run for some reason. That was a couple Mondays ago, sorry. But we've taken out almost all the sell side liquidity. The only thing really remaining, it doesn't even go as far back, my markings. But I would imagine right here is the next level, or maybe even this low here. I'm not quite sure. We can go back and look at that if we need to, but we've got a lot up here. A lot up here. We haven't really taken much buy side on the way down. Every time it gets close, it fails. It gets close, it fails. Gets close, it fails. And we've just been kind of trickling all the way down. So my thoughts are we bounced off of this. I'm hoping that we, well, in order for my model, in order to follow the steps for my model, we'd have to come back down and take out this low. And then trade higher. Otherwise, 9:30 opens and we're going to break this high, and then I'll be looking, or maybe even this high, which doesn't really count, but it's still a liquidity point, or this high, and then we can look for some shorts. So I'm not sure what to expect this week. There's not a ton of news, but I do believe CPI is sometime this week. I mean, if anything, that's tough. I can't really tell if I'm bearish or bullish for the week yet. Typically, I wait for Monday to figure itself out before I really decide. Obviously, price action is still bullish. We've only come down to a little retracement, more or less. I mean, even from this last low, right at the 62% line, almost exactly. So that's a perfect OTE. I mean, 79 would be okay too, which happens to be the weekly fair value gap. So we still could come down and be considered perfectly bullish. Like we see on lower fractals, lower time frames, you come down to 62 to 79% for optimal trade entry all the time. So as of now, we're just waiting. We did react nicely off of this new week opening gap from this week. And where did we, I think we closed up here. So depending on where we open, we may have a big opening range gap. Oh, actually it's already closed, I think. This was Friday's close. Yeah, we've already closed it. So no opening gap. The only thing to go for, the only thing to draw to is all this untap. Get rid of that. Untap buy side. So I'm going to grab some water quick if anybody's here. If I'm going to grab some water quick, I'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes for that opening bell, and we'll start watching. I'll be right back. All right. Also, 2 more things to note for those who are here. One, I'm not any kind of financial advisor. I'm not advising you to do anything. Trade with demo money and do not copy me. Basically, just assume all the time. I have no idea what I'm doing. I do that myself for the most part. That's not what this is. So don't do that. You're liable, not me. Second, Apex. I trade with Apex Trader Funding. I have a funded account with them. I'm a couple trades in, and it's going great. However, I wanted to mention, there's our opening bell, so we'll keep an eye on it. Wanted to mention they're doing a 90% off sale. Like, I have a 50K account. It's $167 a month. You can get it for $40 bucks. I'd pay $40 to give it a shot. Personally, I might even go grab a second account. And then if I pass, I have 100,000 capital. You know what I mean? So it's going on now. between now and July 6th. So my code's in chat and in the description. If you are interested in a funded account, they are good and it's a hell of a discount. So go check it out. That's all I'm going to say on it. So do with that what you will. Also, for those who don't know, I try to say it in every video because it annoys the hell out of me. My nose is always stuffy in the morning. Every single morning. Don't know why. I also have allergies, and it's been kicking my butt recently, so I apologize for the sniffles and for the nasally clogged sounding audio. Always have a plug nose in the morning. So being that it's Monday, I don't expect a lot to happen. No news Mondays usually don't do a lot. So I may not end up doing anything until the afternoon. We'll see what happens. But as of now, I'm looking for a proper setup as long as it checks the boxes. Which, why don't we go check that out right now? Let me see if this will work. No, because it has to be full screen. No, because I have to do that. Yeah. Can I make it not full screen? Sure, but then it's smaller for you guys. Okay. So this is my Notion template. My trade dashboard gives me the time, the weather, and a real nice quote. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Today I think I can. So I've got a bunch of stuff here. Really, the most that you're going to see is this calendar, but I've got a whole 2023 roadmap for where I want to be by the end of the year. Some different finance things and tracking and keeping track of whatever stuff. Some backtesting results, my strategy notes, and of course my trade journal. This just links to a bigger view of the calendar. So on my calendar, I create a new entry each day that I trade. We'll replace this with the number of with the dollar amount of win or loss once I get there. That way it shows up nicely here. You can see I've got just as much green as I do red, if not more red than green. I never really did count. The beginning of the month and end of May was a little bit rough for me, so I've been recovering from some drawdown. You'll see the first couple of losses at the beginning of the month were quite large. I've only had 3 losses since then, and they've been under, well, this one was 100, but they've been under $100. So I've been doing different money management, trying to get out of drawdown. Anyways, here we are. So far, this is my template. So far, I have done my affirmations. I did some meditation. I ate my breakfast, and I have to tell myself every morning, trust the model. It really just don't hesitate. Just trust it and go. Risk management, maximum 2 losses a day. Come back tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. As of now, our first step, we're waiting for a liquidity raid of the London high low as we're in the New York AM session. So let's bounce back and keep watch. We did kind of impulse up a little bit here on the 930 candle, waiting for that to close at 935 to start. I'm on the 15-minute chart, so never mind that. Let's go ahead on 5 and take a look. I do have a couple indicators on here, most of which I don't really use. I do have the indicator that draws my session verticals and my highs and low horizontals. Looks like we're really coming up taking this. I have a breaker block indicator on here. It just helps me identify where breaker blocks are. I don't really use them a lot. What else do I got on here? Oh yeah, new week opening gaps. Those are always nice. Then I've got a power of 3, which shows the weekly candle on my chart. Just helps me see where we're at for the week as a whole. Try to get an idea of weekly profiles and things like that. grab onto that TGIF setup at the end of the week. So this is nice. I mean, I kind of figured we'd be bouncing off that daily fair value gap and coming up. Let me move this out to the end of the day here. We didn't quite tap it again, but we've got equal lows there. We may not even need to tap it again. I don't see anything down here that is an imbalance left over, so that's balanced down there. We're probably good. Below this low. Looks like we're coming straight for London's high. Maybe we'll take Friday's PM session high too. Friday's London high is not far behind. Outside of that, we've got to go up quite a bit. I wonder if these three levels will be taken today, and then we'll trade back down again. We'll see. We shall see. And hopefully you guys can hear me and hear the music. We'll figure it out eventually, hopefully not 2 hours in. I'm going to mic test myself. Sounds like it works. Great. Awesome. Perfect. Wouldn't be surprised if we Judas up here into this bearish order block. I just kind of have a feeling it's going to fail and we're going to take this liquidity, but actually would likely shoot for this high. But I drew it out anyway just to see its reaction. If it does get through it and above it, I am liking that it's there. Usually it causes some resistance, as we can see here, but it'll create, hopefully, enough resistance. It'll create a swing low. So right after we sweep this, we could break that swing low up here and then target London's low down here. So where we'd be, let's try this out, where we'd be looking. We are in a premium now. Just a matter how long we stay there or how big we make it, if we break through it, yada yada. Their shorter block is not holding, which is perfectly fine with me. Love seeing things react by the tick though. That's always cool. Looks like we'll be sweeping that liquidity any second now. To the tick, just tapping it, flirting with it, watch it bust through with some displacement. Well, it did just take it, so at this point, we're looking for shorts. There's a little volume imbalance there left between this and the last candle. So watch it close bearish. So it can fill that volume imbalance. It's very tiny, but it's usually what happens. It'll reverse on itself to cover it. Actually, looks like there's one with the candle below too. I didn't see that. Really moved up quick this morning and left some imbalances behind. And of course, regular fair value gaps, but we'll get there. We'll fill those up. I do have to say, scrolling through Twitter here while we're waiting for price to get its fake out of the way. Obviously, I'm an ICT Concepts Trader, so I follow ICT on Twitter. He posts a little video on Twitter this morning of some deer in his yard. And I love how he drops little hints and he calls himself Ghost in the Machine. And I feel like this is why, because he doesn't, it's not obvious. You gotta know what you gotta know him. You gotta know what he's saying in order to interpret. But he's got a picture of these deer and he's like, they usually come in crowds of 15 or so. This one is looking for sell side liquidity. Hint, hint, right? So personally, that's also what I am looking for, but we have to take buy side to get there first, right? So as I said, just kind of confirming what I said. There's our first bearish. We got to take some buy side and then look for a break of a market structure break, which as of now is way down here. So that's not helpful. But if we consolidate in here a little bit and create me a swing low and then impulse bound below it, I would take that. If we just impulse down and go right back to this and just have this peak right here for no reason, that's going to make the morning tough. But anyway, I just think it's funny when I see stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, that's what I'm looking for too. Sell side, let's go. Take out that London low. Looks like we've got our swing low as long as this candle closes in 2 minutes. We've got that swing low point right there. And that's where I'll be initially eyeing a shift. We'll see what happens. We're also getting very close to silver bullet hour, so we could potentially be seeing a setup there as well. It's actually quite common for the morning session portion of this model here to line up with the silver bullet window, just because that 9:30 to 10 o'clock, get that out of the way. Usually the move in the wrong direction anyways. Also, the model that I trade is something that I'm going to make a video on this week, maybe later today, just to kind of explain what I do. Anyone who sees this or has seen the previous videos where I talk about it, it's very, how do I say this? It has taken inspiration from Nexus Blast and one of ICT's latest videos, the one Trade Setup for Life, where he goes through all of the session sweeps and in a 24-hour round trip around the clock. And it also takes inspiration from a very early on model that I used to trade. I called it the Night Owl. I'll explain that in my video when I talk about the model here that I trade. The Night Owl basically was looking for a sweep of the overnight high or low, and then a reversal, hence Night Owl for the overnight levels. And I found great success with it. It often caught most of the daily range, which was awesome. It often just went the other direction, like it could today. It could just keep on going up and never come back. That happens. But between some earlier model development and understanding and knowledge when I was doing the Night Owl model, then with Nexus Blast, making it into sessions throughout the day and its corresponding levels, and then I used ICT's video to refine those sessions to different times that align better with what I think we're truly looking for with liquidity sweeps. Kind of came out with this. So I'll release a video on it soon and give you all the details and walk through all the steps and show some cherry-picked examples on how it works. Just, everybody hates cherry picking, but look, I got to find a good example that shows what this model is. I can run through a couple other examples to show you that it does fail. It's not 100%, nothing is, but I want to show you what it looks like when it works, so you know what to look for. You know what I mean? So I'll do that later. Doesn't look like she wants to come down, though. We got 2 equals there on the 5 minute. Is it probably coming for this? Or this? If I were trading regular trading hours, I wouldn't even look at this. So it's probably coming for that, which is okay with me. We'll keep waiting. But it is hitting something here, and I wonder if it has to do with some kind of order block right in here. My eye wants to draw a line here, but I'm not super versed in order blocks. So picking them when it's not 100% obvious like this. See, I feel like these 3 candles make a bearish order block. So these bearish candles do not make a bearish order block. So is it like these can't, like I'm not exactly sure. There's some kind of, I feel like there's some kind of order block here that's causing some of this. I just don't know the exact levels as I'm still, learning how to define them. NQ's strong. Welcome in, Legends. NQ is strong. NQ's been strong. So I'm not surprised there. So that's great, actually. If S&P is weaker, and I'm looking for shorts, then that is perfect. Oh yeah, it doesn't even have a swing, which is concerning. If S&P breaks that swing low, NASDAQ is just going to be in this fair value gap. That's fun. Oh, come on. Yeah, it looks like it's also going for this old Friday PM high. There it goes. I figured that was going to be up next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles with the perfect line, perfect close or high or open or whatever. Perfect levels. They always get swept. Oh, right. I also did not do this. So identify the rate of the London high or low. That has been done. We're dropping to the 5-minute. There's no news. Dropping to the 5-minute to wait for a market structure shift. Right meow. So there's those steps. What's up, buddy? Waiting on the decide how much buy side. Waiting on the algo to decide how much buy side liquidity is enough. Yeah, that's what I was saying before, man. I that daily fair value gap's right up here. We already took London high. We took this little hump in the middle. I'm thinking one of these two at the most. Never mind. Should pop down. Should pop down real quick. If this closes, I'm entering short. That's how it goes. It's a big old fair value gap, though, if it does close. Wrong one. NAS just tapping into that fair value gap, so I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't go anywhere. I mean, S&P's clearly the weaker one, so maybe it does. NASDAQ isn't really going to show shorts. It's been the stronger one for a while. Come here, say hi to people on the internet. Yeah, come here. Can you meow into the microphone, please? I now have a cat on my lap joining me in for this session. Yeah. Yeah, that's just a big wick. Or not. Yeah. Hey, can you just lay down? I'm working here. I figured that would happen. Like I said, if this way. Oh no. If ES were to drop down in below this, it's right where NASDAQ is going to hit this fair value gap. So kind of wasn't thinking it was going to work. Oh, dude, come on. Right about here. Yeah, definitely failed. Well, yeah, definitely did. That would have been super nice, though. Just close here, just shoot down, take this out, be done for the morning. Let's go. No, we got more. We got more business up here. Well, as the phrase goes, when it's boring, you're doing something right. Because this is boring. But that means I'm not impulsive. I'm not jumping in. I'm not like, oh, it's going up. Buy. Oh, it's shut down. Sell. I'd be wrecked right now. So boring is good. Let it come. Let it come to you. Missed the move at the open. Yeah, that would have been sweet. I don't have an entry model to get into that. But I'm sure there's something. The only thing I can think maybe is this last low to this last high. I think it's a little bit off, but give or take, literally respected at 79% OTE level perfectly. I don't like relying on that by itself. I like to see a fair value gap in there too, or something. I guess maybe is one of these an order block. You know, I don't know. That would have been cool to catch for sure. I mean, it's at its extreme 43.82 to 44.02, call it 20 handles right there. That's a nice payday. OTE and bullish order block. Is that somewhere in these down close candles? Something like right in that area-ish. 655. Yeah. Just the one. Should make it bigger. I keep it pretty condensed on my charts. I don't know how easy that is to see on screen. Make it a little bigger. Now it's coming down. Look at that. We just got to make sure we got to get a body close on NASDAQ past here. I don't like those. Let's do that on bar close. There. If we get a body close past there and a body close past there, we know it's not just going to wick out of that fair value gap again. Yes, yes. Come on down. Ugh, look at that. This feels like the mornings of last week. Messy. Nothing happens. Just wait for a meltdown in the afternoon. I think I caught 2 or 3 of those last week. I don't have my screenshot for that one yet. Definitely caught 2 of them. I don't remember what Tuesday was. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, dude. Now it's going to market structure shift and leave me no fair value gap. The new week opening gap is about that 50% line there. Recent impulse. It's a close call. We'd be right at the top of that. This premium area. Can't find it. Yeah, man, me either. And I bet you it's intentional. Usually when I don't, when price doesn't give me an entry, at least everyone trades different models, but usually on my model, when I don't get an entry, it moves without me. It's great when I get an entry and I can get in and move with it, but yeah, it's really closing all of its gaps, balancing itself out. Not uncommon for a Monday. Price doesn't really have a lot of energy to want to go anywhere on a Monday, kind of like me. I've noticed that a lot. That price acts like a human throughout the week. Monday, I'm barely here, guys. Feel like I just woke up. I'm not really going to do much work today. Tuesday's pretty good. Wednesday's kind of a Wednesday and Thursday are kind of your peak days, and then Friday, price is checked out. So all it's looking to do is grab one more good level of liquidity and call it a day, or just kind of coast on into the weekend. It's so funny how it can look like that commonly for a week. This sucks. This sucks right here. I think it's because of this. The algo totally has a personality. Welcome in, I'm gone. The 5-minute breaker at 255 is holding price in the 1 minute from dropping. Not sure. I don't look at the 1 minute. Not sure. But I can tell you this fair value gap on the NASDAQ is keeping things from dropping. That's so far what I'm noticing on my 5-minute time frame. I mean, there's one here too, but NASDAQ is clearly the stronger. S&P is clearly the weaker, but it's not going down. I guess on the 5-minute it kind of does show itself too. I'm gone. If that's the breaker you're talking about, or at least one of these candles, it's it's certainly hitting either that or this fair value gap or both. I mean, there's this fair value gap here too. That could be overlapping all of that, playing a part in that. Yes. It doesn't want to go, but I want it to. So, find ourselves in a pickle. So now it's going to market shift, right? And I won't be in a premium. Maybe I'll be in a premium. Oh yeah, there it goes. There it goes. I know. That's what I was saying before. If it doesn't show an entry, it just goes. And I just watch it. So, what could happen? Bounce off this new week opening gap? Maybe. Bounce off this breaker / order block / brick wall right here? Maybe. Bounce off the daily fair value gap again? Maybe. It just, if it does go short, to be honest, it's so far down now that, I don't know. I don't know if 10 handles make it. Well, I mean, maybe. High resistance, liquidity run down to there? It's not coming back. 10:05, then 10:15, closing below. It gave a hint of change in the state of delivery. 10:05. This wiki ass thing, 10:05 and 10:15, closing below it. Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm afraid to jump down to a lower time frame because I'm pretty sure I'll find an entry. Doesn't always present itself on the 5-minute. To the tick on the new OG. Let's go look on the 1 minute just for shits and gigs, right? So this is the London high. Oh yeah. Perfect. 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 We don't market structure shift until here. Fair value gap here. And here. NASDAQ is falling down, closing below. So we're definitely going down to something. 2 fair value gaps there. Enter on either one. Put your stop up there. You'd be in something. Worst case, a lot of drawdown, but if you were smart and entered up here. Not so much. Almost 10 handles. Figured I'd find something on the 1 minute. I just don't follow the 1 minute. You can get a market structure shift on the 1 minute and it means nothing. This is, yeah, what a messy day. But yeah, that was it right there. Right in this area like you were talking about. Well, do I follow the model? Do I trust the model? If this closes with a fair value gap, I enter on it. How far down do we think it's going to go? I mean, it took this out, but failed to take that out. It likely could it easily could sweep down below here. Is this impulse still in a premium? More than half. More than half. So I'd put my entry there. Stop right there. Target there. Think we can clear a 17 handle move on a Monday? Part of me wants to put the entry right by this order block here, right at the bottom of that order block. Whatever that is. Hang on a sec, I got a misbehaving cat. Yeah, get down. Jumping on shit. We'll see how it plays out. If it doesn't take out this low here before coming back, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, I'm going to go with no. There it is. Missed move for the morning. That's just the way it goes. Yep, totally agree. This daily fair value gap is going to provide a lot of resistance. Plus that order block and the morning low, the New York AM low. So it could reverse from here. But I was going to say this is a very, very common, we'll call it problem for me. I know what it's going to do. Take out this liquidity. I know where it's going to go down here. But finding an entry is my struggle. So as far as the foundation of how I read things in my model, the foundation of it works. The entry piece of it is something I'm still working on. For the most part, I frame things on the 1 hour, 15 minute, and then looking for the market structure shift and entry. It's on the 5 minute. So there's been some debate in my head. Do I find entry on the 3 minute instead? I don't know that I would have. I do believe, I don't know. This got a little sketchy in here, but for instance, that's a shift. Body close below the recent low. It doesn't present. Oh, it does present a fair value gap right there. So this is what I mean. 17 handle move right there. So I've been debating on the 3 minute entry after finding, well, I'd be finding the shift and the entry on the 3 minute instead of the 5 minute. And basically, skipping the 5 minute altogether or using it in conjunction with the 15 to help frame things. But that's a beautiful entry, if I'm honest. That's only a 3.5 handle stop. You know what I mean? I could have given myself a little breathing room, call it 5. I'm okay with losing 5. I'd have felt real comfortable with that. After breaking down through this low, straight to break even. This blockiness, it ain't coming above that again during the run. So that would have been a really great setup there. There's a big part of me that might do some testing on that today. Yeah, you got a nice rejection here. So that London low might be saved for a future grab. All right, so I think with this happening here in the morning, we'll give it 15 more minutes, let that silver bullet window play out, just to be thorough, I guess. Then I'll end stream and probably go for a walk and get some lunch, and then I'll be back for the afternoon session. I won't be streaming it though, but I'll record it. If I get any executions, I'll post it. But I gotta do my afternoon break, get some food in me. It's overcast as all hell here, but it's not raining yet. Stormed really good yesterday. So before it actually starts raining, I'm gonna go get myself a little walk. A little walkie walk. Hopefully the PM session is promising. Agreed. And I don't really care how promising. If I take 3 handles, 5 handles, 25 handles, doesn't really matter. I just would be awesome to catch a trade, to catch an entry. So again, look at how clean that line is. Look at this. Why is that so clean? So again, how do I say this? It lends to the issue that I have of actually finding an entry. So last week was good for entries. Now that I'm really thinking about it, actually not super great. I had 5 trades last week over the course of 4 days. 2 were good entries. 3 were good. 2 were good entries. 1 was okay. 2 were bad. 2 were me forcing an entry is the best way to say it. I should go look at Monday's execution, Tuesday's executions. This isn't going anywhere, right? We're just retracing now? Okay. Tuesday. I won on Tuesday. Just a little guy. Oh, it was a long. Oh, that's right. I bought 4, took partials, and then stopped out, break even with the other 2. So what happened here? We took out a bunch of sell side, impulse down real far. I must have considered that the market structure shift, body close. We came down to this, and I said, or this. I bet I bought it right here. That little fair value gap. And went up there. Moved my stop too early because I took partials and moved to break even. That's when I decided 5 handles, I shouldn't move to break even. I should have moved to break even at the next liquidity point. As it took off, and I was like, bah! Terrible. Way to go, legends. Congrats. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. So that was kind of I call it shitty Tuesday, but it wasn't really that shitty. Legends is a legend. Caught himself a short. Yeah, I think I might have to be popping down into the 3 minute. I don't want to really go any lower than that. The 1 minute's wrong too much. I'm wrong on the 1 minute too much. So I think I might start looking at a 3 minute for something, but if I'm not mistaken, order block master. Is this an order block as well? See how I have that drawn out there? It would look like that. Those candles. Is it bodies or wicks? It better not be wicks. That's huge. Calling all Pedros. Is that an order block? Oh, I would consider the 1006 candle the order block. A tiny little guy. Kind of iffy on those types of candles being order blocks. So right. But it worked there. 1015 entry. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like to go with the consecutive candles right there. Most of the time, it works like that too. I guess my view of order blocks at this point in time is nowhere near the word precision. Obviously, ICT is precise enough where he can correctly, well, supposedly, it's gray for me. Supposedly called the high, the low, in the middle of an order block, and it works perfect. For me, it's more like an area of reaction right now, a little less precise. But I know he calls single candles order blocks and consecutive candles order blocks. I just don't know when and why between the two. So just for the sake of, should I have taken entry on my model? I'm not going to at this point. I don't like what it's done so far, but it would have entered. I'd be tapped in right now. Is it still the same on 5 minute? Yeah, pretty much. final target would be here, but I certainly would take something. Something off around. Oh, look at that. It's not coming back down. Well, there's a good chance it might not come back down. This is a balanced price range. So at most it'll be half, which means it could probably come to this new week opening gap, wick through, and take off north again. I'm going to keep this marked out. Just leave it like that. Let's see what it does. Ooh, that sun's coming out. Perfect timing. There we go. I'd have taken partials, and I'd be break even now. So, let that also be a lesson. I will show. See this? Right here? It's in all frickin' caps for a reason. Even if it's a little ugly, trust the model. Even on the 5-minute. Not the ideal entry. Would have been way better up here. Catch that all the way down here. But even on the 5-minute, it still gets you something. I do think I'm going to refine this and start looking at the 3-minute. Just pop in there and just see. But it works on the 5-minute. All the same. Look at it go. The only reason I didn't is because it already took the New York morning low and rejected hard. So I figured that was it. Traced right back up into a premium. And at least would have given, let's say I would have taken 3 contracts this trade. And we would have been, whoa. Exactly 5 handles. Interesting, interesting. So 3 contracts, 5 handles. $75. $75. It works. Trust it. With a capital T. Well, anyways, I just wanted to wait and see if it actually took a partials, because that means I would have made any kind of profit. Oh, partials, I would have taken 2. I'd have made $50, and I'd have 1 running till here. But nonetheless, trust the model, trust the model, trust the model. Just enter it. But, I think the music goes away when I switch to this scene. I should fix that. Music's back. Still working on this thing. But that's it. I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to go get some food and take a walk. Sun's out now. Quick note, the chat at the top of the chat window and at the bottom of my screen, there is a huge discount. It's a no-brainer. Links in the description. Go check it out. It's a 90% discount, not 50. But yeah, with that said, thanks for hanging out. Keep an eye out for my video about afternoon executions, if they do come about. And the video explaining my model. I'm going to be doing that this week too. So I'll go through it in detail and how I do it, what I do, why I do it. So thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you guys later.